All right, guys, Ford has earnings tomorrow, Thursday, February 3rd. It's going to be a very exciting time for me personally because I have a lot of Ford, and I think that Ford still is going to outperform Tesla's stock this year. I'm not saying the company, but Tesla's stock in general. I think that Ford can outpace the Ford stock can outpace Tesla this year again, which it did last year. Some people don't even realize how much Ford actually moved last year. And believe it or not, it's still cheap. So I'm really excited for these earnings. And there's just more and more evidence that comes out that makes me feel really positive about these earnings. Now, as we always know, right, earnings are a crapshoot. They could have really incredible numbers, but maybe their outlook won't be good and investors would respond accordingly. And so that's something to certainly be aware of and understand going into this. But to me, I still feel really positive going into these earnings, specifically because of things that are coming out right now. Just today, look at this here right now. Just tweeted this out. Go follow me at Own the Chaos. Ford electrified vehicle sales had best start ever with record January sales. Ford electrified vehicle sales grew almost 4 times faster than overall electrified segment, totaled 13,169 vehicles sold. Ford electrified vehicles were up 167%, with the shares up 5 points to 10.9% of that segment. That to me is actually really incredible. And they just announced earlier in the week as well that they're investing another $20 billion in restructuring everything they do so they can focus completely on EVs. The Ford F-150 Lightning is sold out. You can't order anymore until they start producing them. The Maverick is also completely sold out. And the Ford Mustang Mach-E, which, by the way, I wish they would have branded it something else. I don't really like the fact that they called it a Mustang, but it's still selling like crazy. It's a beautiful car, and does have some key metrics and performance statistics that don't really butt up to Tesla, right? There's the range, for example, performance. Tesla is far beyond ahead as far as technology in that area is concerned, but you can't discount the fact that this is an auto company that's been making vehicles for the last 115 plus years. And, legacy, quote unquote, car companies are getting a bad rap because it's just like, oh, let's go chase the latest thing. And don't get me wrong, I love Tesla. I think that Tesla is going to continue to be the clear winner in this space, but it doesn't mean that there isn't room for others. And I think Ford, in my opinion, probably takes that number 2 spot. And they're well on their way to doing that. GM came out with numbers on Tuesday after earnings, and they were great, but I don't think they were spectacular. To me, I think Ford will be spectacular earnings. And again, I just want to preface this by saying that it's always a crapshoot. But let's take a look at the chart and see where some of the opportunities lie for Ford as well, leading into Thursday's earnings after hours. So right here, you're looking at Ford's chart. It is on the daily chart here, and you can see that obviously had a very sharp correction, got dragged down with the rest of the market towards the end of January, the second half of January, and it's still sitting pretty decently here right in the middle of the pack, or middle of the RSI rather, at around 43, 44. It's interesting here too, when you look at the 50-day moving average, how it's come up and tested that area twice. This yellow line is represented by that 50-day moving average. You can see that it tested that, got rejected on January 26th, and it actually tested it and got rejected today as of this recording on February 2nd. So if they do have good positive earnings, I think that obviously this is going to be an area to certainly watch out for. If it breaks over that 50-day moving average, that will should spark some more momentum to lead up to that $22 flat resistance here as well. If we get up over that $22, I imagine we see a pretty decent gap fill going up to around 22.55, and there the momentum could potentially continue. So guys, let me know what you think about Ford in the comments below. I certainly would love to get your thoughts on this. Can Ford continue to sustain this? Obviously, we're going to have supply chain issues and chip shortages that are going to continue to be the headlines for the autos in general. And we already heard from Elon Musk as far as that was concerned as well. But I'm really, really curious to see how they're continuing to push the envelope despite some of the challenges that they're facing. Can they give us a good outlook? And so that's something that I'm really curious about. If you guys want to watch me and get my live reactions to Ford's earnings, make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, because I will be live during those earnings at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time, just before the market closes, to get our live reactions for that, along with all kinds of other stuff that are reporting after hours as well. Guys, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.